10 seconds remaining.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I told you it wouldn't be too long.
Remaining.
As, like I said, just about 5 minutes break. It actually worked out perfectly.
Time.
But we're ready for Game 2 between these two teams. As unfortunately, the teams didn't tag up properly, but it's okay. Either way, we've got Boreal eSports on the Dire side, as teams not actually switching sides, as Boreal chose to go with first pick here, and then the choice of sides went to ASDF, as they chose for Radiant. So we're going to have them on the same sides again here. But looks like we've got a couple players changed, as Derp is going to be playing for Boreal eSports. So he's going to be replacing the guy who played TA last time around. And on the side of ASDF, looks like XSY is going to be replacing Abe, who frankly I thought did a pretty damn good job. But we will have these teams playing with a slightly different roster than they played with last game, but I'm sure that we're going to have just as an exciting game. Although it is going to be a little bit difficult to live up to the amount of action that we had, especially early on in that game, as it was seemingly all Boreal. But then maybe a little bit of throws, and then maybe a little bit more throws, or you have to give a little bit of credit to ASDF as well, capitalizing on those mistakes coming out from Boreal. But either way, Boreal was able to take that game 1, as this is a best of 2, so it's not like you have to win the series. It's all about the number of matches that you win in the group stage, which will determine your position in the standings. Prior to this series, both these teams had lost their first 2 games, so now Boreal will sit at 1-2 record, and ASDF still at 0-3. As they still try to find their first win in the Saturday Dota League. We do have one more week of the group stages, and that of course will be coming up next Saturday, as both the other division or the red division and the blue division will finish. This is a red division match, but it will finish at the end of next Saturday, and then we'll take the top 2 teams from each of those groups. Each group or division has 4 teams. Top 2 go to the winner's bracket. Bottom 2 of each division go to the loser's bracket, and then we start our playoffs, which should last about 4 weeks. And yeah, then we'll be all done for the Saturday Dota League Season 1. As then I guess we'll get started with Season 2. I'm not sure exactly what the timeline is for that kind of stuff, but I'll definitely find out as we get closer and closer to the finale of SDL. But if you want to find out more about the format and how the tournament goes, you can actually just go to SaturdayDotaLeague.com. There's actually a button that you can hit that just says format, and it tells you everything about how the tournament's going to go out. There's even a diagram there showing you the bracket and how the bracket works coming out of the group stages, and how the winner's bracket and loser's bracket will shape up. And then of course you've got standings, and then you'll have an active schedule which gets updated following the previous week's games. So then you'll know when the teams are playing next week, what time they'll be playing, and then later on in the week you'll find which casters are playing which. As well, you know, I'll be casting some games. I've only been casting 1 match so far in the first week, and then in this week, or 1 series, I should say, not match. But I'm gonna aim to be casting 2 for next week and moving on. I'm not 100% sure if I can commit to 2 next week, but that's the goal, as I'd want to cover more of SDL. So that's the goal. But we do have this game that we're already in, and if you want to be in, make sure you hop into Dota TV. You can hop into the ticket and watch through Dota TV, completely free. So definitely check that out. But we've got Boreal eSports, which is going to be on our Dire side, going by the name of Mom's the Stripper, going up against ASDF, which unfortunately haven't tagged up, as they're going to be on the Radiant side. But we've got lots of bans and lots of picks to go through here, as the Visage got banned out in the first round, and the Undying also got banned out in the first round, so both of those getting banned out last time around. The Wisp and the Wind Ranger were the 2 new bans this time around, and we didn't have the Leshrac or the Storm Spirit banned. Both of those got picked up, as Boreal eSports elected to go with the Queen of Pain once again, but this time adding a Leshrac. And ASDF picked up that Storm Spirit and added a Skywrath Mage as well. Then we went on to the next set of bans as Clockwork and
10 seconds remaining.
Phantom Lancer got banned out by Boreal eSports. And ASDF banned out the Nyx Assassin and the Brood Mama, which they banned out last time as well in that same fourth ban position. But ASDF, you know what? They're okay with going later on into the game, as now they pick up an Anti-Mage, as they're in for the long haul again. But they're going to have to be able to deal with the amount of pressure that Boreal eSports is going to put out, as it was pretty furious in the first game, and now they've got a Leshrac on their side, so there's a very real possibility of an aggressive tri-lane. A little bit surprised to see that Anti-Mage come out so early, given that they don't really know too much about what kind of a lane is going to be coming out from Boreal eSports. And now they added Drow Ranger on it as well. So Queen of Pain versus Storm Spirit in the mid lane. That's an okay matchup for either side. Leshrac and Drow Ranger in an aggressive tri-lane would really shut down an Anti-Mage Skywrath, and we don't know where the Phoenix is, but certainly if that Phoenix is a support, I don't think that would be a good lane for them. But Phoenix in the off lane's a very real possibility. Phoenix is pretty good in most 1v1s, so that wouldn't be too bad for ASDF. But now Vengeful Spirit will be the pick for Boreal, as that's going to give them a nice double stun setup if they choose to go with the Leshrac as a support. Of course, there's always the possibility of running that Leshrac as a core, and that's what we've seen mainly from Leshracs recently. As maybe they're going to look to put the Drow Ranger in the safe lane and go aggro with the Leshrac, the Vengeful Spirit, and then another hero. That's a very real possibility as well. Silencer was the last ban for ASDF, and then Witch Doctor got removed by Boreal eSports. As we move on to our last two picks, ASDF, I think they're probably looking for a support hero. Could be an offlaner, all depends on what they plan to do with that Phoenix. We know most likely that Storm Spirit's going to be in the mid lane, the Anti-Mage is going to be safe lane, and the Skywrath is going to be a support. Phoenix is that one hero that's in flux. And that, of course, means well, they've got a little bit of versatility when it comes to the last pick here. If we take a look at the Boreal eSports side on the Dire, they most likely have the Queen of Pain in the mid lane, Drow Ranger safe lane, Leshrac, Vengeful Spirit, and then I'm guessing another support to kind of go with an aggro tri-lane there with the Leshrac as one of the cores. They could potentially put the Drow Ranger, Leshrac, and Vengeful Spirit in an aggro tri-lane with the Drow being the core. There's a lot of different things they could do here. So they could be looking for a safe laner to go up against a Phoenix. They could be Jakiro. So they did pick up another support, and this is a scary tri-lane. This is an aggro tri-lane coming up from Boreal eSports, as they're going to safe lane the Drow, as Night Stalker was the pickup for ASDF. And we've seen a lot of position 4 Night Stalker, but I think this is a position 3 Night Stalker. I think it's an offlane Night Stalker. But either way,
prepare for battle.
We're gonna find out shortly here, as we've got Team ASDF on the Radiant side. They lost the first one. They hung in for a while, but they kind of got run over early on, hung out, but eventually did succumb to their injuries sustained by Boreal eSports early on. But YOLO Swag Rico is going to be playing the Anti-Mage. XSY is going to be playing the Skywrath Mage. We've got a Santa at NASA on the Phoenix. Eleanor is going to be playing the Storm Spirit. And God's Hand is going to be playing the Night Stalker. And thankfully Eleanor got rid of the YOLO Swag Rico on the end of the name. It's going to make it a little easier for me. For our Dire side, it's going to be Boreal eSports. We've got Jeppins playing the Queen of Pain. PQ is going to be playing the Jakiro. The Vengeful Spirit's going to be played by that guy with the little symbol again. So we're just going to call him Vengeful Spirit again. Derp's going to be playing the Leshrac. And then all the way up in the top lane, it's going to be KVH on the Drow Ranger. I clicked on the Queen of Pain because he was playing Queen of Pain last game, but nope. It's going to be Jeppins this time around. As for our starting items, nothing too unusual right now. We do have a nice little lineup there of Ring of Protections coming out from Boreal eSports, but nothing too surprising. No smokes, no sentries, anything like that. Boots first on your kind of typical heroes. Skywrath Mage picking up boots first, and also boots first on the Night Stalker. But besides that, nothing else too surprising. Everything else is pretty usual. As for our lanes, though, we've got Night Stalker soloing in the bottom lane, and it looks like it is going to be another aggro tri-lane, as we got the Vengeful Spirit, the Leshrac, and the Jakiro down here for Boreal eSports. In the mid lane, that's going to leave Storm Spirit up against Queen of Pain, a match that we knew was coming. Top lane is going to be a safe lane Drow Ranger going up against the Anti-Mage, the Phoenix, and the Skywrath Mage, so it is indeed a support Phoenix. This KVH is going to be under a lot of pressure in this top lane. Yellow Swag Rico will be basically free farming away here, as basically what's happened here is ASDF has predicted the fact that there was going to be an aggressive tri-lane, as I think it was pretty obvious, but an aggressive tri-lane coming out from Boreal eSports, so they've dodged and effectively gone aggro themselves, not because they think they can win an aggro or a tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario, but they came up here because they knew that they couldn't. So they come up here, they force Boreal eSports to make a rotation up here. As soon as that rotation happens, they then rotate to the bottom, and then basically what you're doing is you're forcing Boreal eSports to constantly chase you around the map, which isn't really a good use of their time. As Yellow Swag Rico will get a little bit of farm here, as it's just the 3v2 scenario right now. But in the bottom lane, God's Hand was fighting the Leshrac there, as Derp went a little bit on the offensive there as he was trying to TP up to the top lane, but he lost quite a bit of HP. Unfortunately, I missed that and didn't catch it on the camera there for you. Maybe you're in Dota TV and you're just listening to me and you're controlling the camera yourself and you got that, and if you did, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a little bit of a clappa.
Double damage.
My camera work is still a very much a work in progress. But we're getting there, The 2-minute runes get claimed. God's Hand gets that bounty rune. But now we've got this effectively offensive tri-lane coming out from Boreal eSports. As they're going to look to try and find a kill here, they need to maybe rotate Yellow Swag Rico away from this. However, he's getting a little bit of farm right now, and it's not really Boreal that's on the aggressive here. As this Anti-Mage is getting kind of the farm that he wants. He's our top farmer in the game, as he's sitting at 14-4. Now, Sky will exchange a little bit of damage with the Leshrac. It is important to point out that this is not a core Leshrac, it is a support Leshrac. As I'll get back to that point in a second, as we're going to get our first blood, as XSY is going to go down. He overextended a little bit there, then got caught out with a nice stun coming out from Derp, followed up by the Magic Missile coming out from the Vengeful Spirit. But this is not a core Leshrac, this is a core Jakiro. So PQ is actually playing a core here, and he's actually effectively playing their offlaner. So when they did that little bit of a player switch there, they switched PQ into that offlane position. And this is something that one of my old teams, we were experimenting for a while with. A kind of core Jakiro was a very different meta. But yeah, Goofy was even running it in the mid lane, testing it out. But PQ, oh no, he's come to contest the pull here, but God's Hand and XSY are going to punish him for it, as it looks like he's going to go down, or will he? The dragon's flapping his wings as fast as he can to try to get out of there, but the Void comes out from God's Hand. As they're going to even the kill total there at 2 kills apiece, as we did have an exchange in the mid lane while I was yapping at something that really wasn't that important between the Queen of Pain and the Storm Spirit, as they kind of exchange lives there. It looks like we are finally having that rotation all the way to the bottom lane from Yellow Swag Rico. So the AM is back at his home in the safe lane on the Radiant side. His supports are kind of down here hanging out. God's Hand is going to look to move around. Of course, it is 4 minutes into the game, so we have hit our first night. And this is a moment where God's Hand can look to go on the aggressive. We did have PQ and Vengeful Spirit in the bottom lane, putting a little bit of pressure on Yellow Swag Rico. But his supports are going to try to do the same in the mid lane, as they force Jeppins to blink back. Unfortunately, not able to catch him out there. No silence available on this Night Stalker. And you know what? I think that's maybe a little bit of a mistake. I think maybe leaving 1 point out of Hunter in the night and putting that point into silence would have been much more valuable, given that one of your potential gank targets is going to be a Queen of Pain in the mid lane. It makes your first night a little bit weaker, because they weren't able to secure that kill on the Queen of Pain there. But we do have a little bit of circling going on in the bottom lane, but they're not going down there. They're going on Jeppins once again, the mid lane. This time they've got the silence. It's the Skywrath Mage silence coming out, making sure that the Queen of Pain isn't able to escape. So this time they get it down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But Yellow Swag Rico
Radiant's top tower
is
is
actually
under
still
attack.
able to farm down here. I'm really
Dire's
surprised by
middle
his CS
tower
so
is
far.
under
27 and 6. He's our third highest farmer in the game. He's still behind the Storm Spirit, who's at 29 and 4, and 30 and 4 for the Jakiro. But he's doing quite well for himself now. The supports and
Radiant's top tower
the
is
Night
under
Stalker will
attack.
make their way down here. But while that's going on, Boreal eSports is just going to push down this top tier 1 tower. And there it goes. Notice
Radiant's
Derp
top
Derp,
tower
his skill
has
build. He's a
fallen.
1-1-1 build on the Leshrac. We've seen a lot of Leshrac's recently not putting those points into Diabolic's Edict when he's been played as a core. But we've got action in the bottom lane as Yola Swag Rico is going to blink forward, going after the kill on the Venge here. God's Hand's going to come in through the river and secure that kill for them. Will they be able to get another kill? Looks like Derp Derp would be the target. PQ is going to lay down a double breath, but they are still going to lose Derp Derp. Will they be able to get the kill here onto God's Hand? He does have a bottle. He's going to try to bottle himself back up, but there's no way out of this. He's left to turn and fight. PQ needs to be careful as he could have very easily have gone down there. But we are going to have Jeppins blinking on in, getting the kill there on God's Hand. But will it cost Jeppins his life? It looks like it will, as Eleanor is going to be able to get that kill.
Radiant's top
And it's still
tower
not
is
over.
under attack.
Yola Swag Rico will blink away, and now it actually looks like it will finally be over. My goodness. As I guess they're trying to pick up where they left off last game. As we're going to have a bunch of kills here. 9 kills now in the game so far. This time it's actually gone the other way. So 6 kills to 3 in favor of ASDF. And they're certainly not going to slow down anytime soon.
Radiant's
Eleanor
middle
just finished
tower
his
is
soul
under
ring.
attack.
It's still going to have to get delivered. I think it... yeah, it's going to be coming in on the courier right now. But we've got XSY, who's done quite well for himself so far in the support Skywrath Mage. He's looking pretty good. Phoenix, he's a little bit further behind, but he'll catch up. As Yola Swagger is going to have to blink away. He's done okay for himself. He's got his ring of health, and it looks like he's going to go for his treads as his next item, using his quelling blade to chop through the trees there as he knew the gank was coming in. Jeppins blinked on in. Now he's kind of standing in your predictable spot, but XSY TP's on in. He just gets blown up immediately by all 5 heroes on the side of Boreal eSports. They're going to drop the tier 1 tower. Yola Swag Rico knew that wasn't a good position to be in, as he's going to blink along the tree line here. And I don't think Jeppins will go hunting for him, as they have no idea where that Anti-Mage would be. God's Hand has finished his urn. He's at 3-1-1 right now. He does now have 1 point in Crippling Fear, so silence is available to him. But we're just at 8 minutes,
Radiant's
so not
bottom
quite in
tower
our
is under attack.
next night time. We're just sitting
Radiant
at 7 a.m. It's
structures
going to be a
are
little while
fortified.
before we have our next night. But Boreal is not going to wait for that. Certainly they shouldn't, as they're going to start pushing down this bottom tier 2 tower. But there comes out the ultimate from the Night Stalkers. It's nighttime once again, as they're going to try to go on the offensive. Will Boreal be able to get on out of here? They don't care about backing away. They're just going to turn around and blow some heroes up. Jeppins gets a double as he drops both the supports for ASDF. And with that, they may just look to finish off this tier 2 tower. It's sitting at 288 HP right now, as they need to patiently wait for their creep wave, as it's finally arriving. Eleanor and God's Hand are the only ones left here to defend, as Yola Swag Rico has made his way to the mid lane, and the tier 2 is just going to get claimed without either hero trying to deny it, and rightfully so. It would have been almost suicide to try and deny that. But Boreal eSports have claimed 3 towers already. ASDF yet to get 1. As with that fight, Boreal even evened up the kill total. Now it's 6 kills apiece. But this Anti-Mage is getting a little bit of farm. He's at 37 and 9 CS, our 4th highest CS in the game. His Battle Fury is still quite a ways out. Because now we're going to have a smoke here coming out from ASDF, as 4 heroes are going to be smoked up in the mid lane, just across the river. They're going to bait out Eleanor maybe, as they're just going to jump on immediately. Not really sure who they're going for, but apparently it doesn't matter, as they get both kills. Derp Derp and Jeppins Vengeful Spirit was pretty low as well, and immediately after the Supernova, Asanta and NASA just goes diving on in after the Vengeful Spirit, but then they say KVH is there, and they're going to go for him instead, as looks like they're going to be able to secure the kill onto him. Yes, he's going to go down, and Eleanor even gets the kill on the Venge, but Jeppins is there to get the return kill. He did buy back for that, so not getting full gold for it. And it certainly would have cost them a little bit. But a huge gold swing going in favor of ASDF, as once again they find themselves ahead in the kill totals by 3 kills at 10-7. And we'll quickly cycle through all our items here. The treads get finished by the Animage, but he still needs quite a ways to go before the Battle Fury is going to be finished. We've got God's Hand, looks like he's picked up a Blades of Attack, so going after Phase Boots as his next item. Santet NASA has finished his Tranquils and then his typical support items. Has more action? No, maybe not. Just an Icarus dive to harass. XSY has picked up his second Null Talisman. And Eleanor still just sitting on that Soul Ring and Treads. But looks like ASDF has successfully defended their mid here. Yellow Swag Rico actually TPing on in here. The downside to doing that is now as he moves away from the mid lane to go and farm, he's not going to be able to TP back, but it looks like he's going to be close enough. And looks like they're not even going to be able to defend the towers. Boreal's going to claim it. Last hit going the way of PQ. And now Ice Path will find XSY. Macropyre is going to go down as well. Believe and stun up XSY, but he did get out of the Macropyre, so that's not going to do more damage to him. But they will be able to secure the kill, no problem. As with that Skyrat down, looks like Boreal eSports is going to look to pressure this tier 2 tower. As it is nighttime, God's Hand will look to defend, but with just 3 heroes, as Animage doesn't really count at this point in the game. Eleanor jumps forward, gets the pull off onto KVH, but we've got the complete turnaround here. Jeppins throws out the Sonic Wave. That's going to drop Eleanor. They do lose Derp. God's Hand getting quite low as well, but Jeppins needs to go on the defensive here, as he probably could have secured that kill, but it would have definitely cost him his life. As we don't lose the tier 2 just yet. Tier 2 actually didn't take that much damage, but effectively all we got was a trade. Frankly, a trade that's a little bit beneficial to Boreal, but at the same time, you had YOLO Swag Rico kind of... I mean, he didn't die. He's participating. He's getting a little bit of assist gold there. Also, right up until the point of those engages, he's off farming. And immediately after, he goes back to farming as well. So it is buying a little bit of time for him, but he's having to be there, be a little bit more present in these team fights, as his team just isn't able to play that 4 Protect 1 well enough going up against these heroes from Boreal eSports. But PQ has finished the mech, and that's certainly an advantage that Boreal has right now, as he's also picked up a cloak. KVH has picked up a Yasha, he's finished his Treads, and he's also got a Belt of Strength, so probably going for an S and Y as his next item. Jeppins, he's got half of an Aghanim Scepter, so about 1,500 gold away from completing that, as he has 500 gold on hand. And Vengeful Spirit has picked up a Cloak as well, so realizing the amount of magical damage that's going to be coming out from the side of ASDF, and here we're going to see some of it as ASDF look to engage on Boreal as they try to bring down this ancient stack. Set hit NASA, Icarus dives in, no Supernova available for 3 seconds. They will get the kill onto KVH to start everything off, and KVH will buy back TP to the mid tier 2, as he's going to look to re-engage as PQ's gone down. Now we're also going to lose the Vengeful Spirit, another Icarus dive coming up from a Santa NASA. KVH, will this be a dieback as he's on the run? YOLO Swag Rico unfortunately will go down, but they do get the kill on KVH. Then they're also going to drop Jeppins. It does cost them Eleanor though. But it's going to be a triple kill for God's Hand on the Night Stalker when it's all said and done. As he's now at 6-1-5 right now, as ASDF in a very different position than they were in last game. As things looking much, much better for them. But how many buybacks did we have there? Just the one? Just the one from the Drow Ranger, okay. And we'll switch on over to net worth and see where we stand on everyone here. Surprisingly, the top 2 heroes in terms of net worth both are on the side of Boreal eSports. As that's going to be the Queen of Pain leading the way, so Jeppin sitting at 5,200. Then it's going to be KVH at 5k. Then Eleanor at 4.8. And then 4.5 for God's Hand. That wraps up our top 4. Next two are going to be the Jakiro at 4.5, and then still quite a ways down the list is going to be Yola Swag Rico at 4.2k, as he's almost done his Battle Fury. And that'll certainly accelerate his farm quite a bit, but he needs to get there. We got more action in the mid lane as Jeppins throws out the Sonic Wave, getting a kill onto Eleanor, and apparently they also got a kill onto God's Hand as well. Sorry, I missed that engagement there. But on the back of that, looks like Boreal will look to take Roche once again. Let's keep in mind, ASDF chose to go with Radiant this time around, so Boreal still has access to Roche very easily, given that they were on the dire side. And all 5 heroes will combine to do so. Aegis will go to KVH. But Roche is so easy to go down when you've got a Vengeful Spirit on your side, the Wave of Terror, the minus armor. Of course, once you get a medallion, it's even faster. They did change in that 6.84B patch. They did change the scaling of Roche's armor, so basically increased it. I'm not sure exactly of the values, but I do know that that's one of the things they changed. And you know what? It's a good change, as Roche was getting killed way too quickly in 6.83 and certainly at the start of 6.84. So it's good to see that they're tanking up Roche a little bit. But we just saw there how quickly he can go down, but there was 5 heroes devoted to that. We got the makings of a mech here for a Santa at Nass, and in fact we're going to have all of the mech as it's flying on out on the courier right now. So that advantage that was once in favor of Boreal eSports with a mech on the Jakiro, who just TPs up to the top lane, is now there's going to be a mech on the side of ASDF as PQ in, well, a whole lot of trouble. Supernova is actually even going to come out here from PQ to make sure that they get the kill there. But now they need to be a little bit careful as the stun's coming out from the Vengeful Spirit as he does an Icarus and the Icarus dive, and he ends up immediately back on the tower. Now he's going on the offensive as God's Hand looks like he was running away, but he's looked to come back and help his Phoenix brother out. But swap from a Vengeful Spirit. Looks like it wasn't even necessary. They were going to get the kill anyways. Oh, we've got more action up here as Jeppin's going to blink forward, but Knight was just popped by God's Hand as he's going to look to turn this around. Jeppin's losing quite a bit of HP, but the Urn coming out there from Derp will heal him back up. He's also picked up a Vlad's. We're seeing a lot of players opt to pick up a Vlad's now, as it's a pretty damn good item. It was always a good item, but certainly with the changes, it's become even better. God's Hand picked up a point booster. Looks like Aghanim Scepter is going to be his next item. Jeppin's actually just finished his. As Derp going to the side shot, but he's going to get picked off here as God's Hand and XSY managed to get a kill there. Derp did buy out, so not losing too much gold there. I think he bought out. He buy TP?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't remember. But Boreal seeing a little bit of an opportunity here to dent the tier 2 in the mid lane, and they do so, and then there's back away. Bottom lane, Yola Swag Rico continues to get pressured as he's forced to TP away. He's 1-1-7 right now, and the courier will deliver everything he needs to complete that Battle Fury. So now that that's online, it's an 18.5 minute Battle Fury. Not ideal, not at all ideal, but that'll at least accelerate his farm and allow him to farm just that much faster and get that next important item that much sooner. As what is it going to be? We don't really have an Orchid coming out from Boreal, so maybe not the typical Manta, but I still think he'll probably go Manta. Either way, Santa at Nass is getting caught out here. He is able to drop into the Supernova, but will his teammates be able to help him out before they're able to right-click it down? No, is the answer. Eleanor jumps on in, but it's just going to cost him his life. XSY tries to run away, it doesn't happen. God's Hand goes down as well, as all of them basically just tried to engage there, and all of them immediately realized it was a bad situation and tried to run away. KVH actually got a triple in there, just tossing out arrows on that grove. Mid tier 2 goes down. We didn't even have Yola Swag Rico as he's farming with that newfound shiny Battle Fury. But looks like his team's going to lose their mid tier 3 here, as Boreal's looking to wrap up this second game. The melee racks are going to go down. We do have 3 heroes respawning. Actually, all 4 heroes are pretty much going to be respawning within the next 5 seconds. But those mid racks are already down. We're going to have an aggressive TP coming out here from God's Hand. Immediately cancels it. As are they? Wow, they're still going to stick around here. They're going to look to fight again. As KVH will get silenced up. Keep in mind, he does have the Aegis. Nicholas dive comes out from a Santa NASA, getting some good damage in with that Sunbeam. But he will go down. And with YOLO Swag Rico coming in here, he lays down a Void, whatever it's called, Mana Void. And he gets a double with that. KVH will try to TP away. Will he be able to do so? Oh my goodness, that was so low. That was so low HP. Holy, I don't know what it was, but that was very, very low. I know I saw the number at 70, but I'm pretty sure it went quite a bit lower than that. He manages to survive there, as apparently we're still gonna... Well, no. I saw that projectile go out 2 or 3 times, but apparently it has stopped. You don't get to see it anymore. Nope. Can't recreate it. Oh well. But let's take a look at our gold graph to see where we stand, and it is Boreal ahead once again, but not anywhere near as far ahead as they were last game. But they still are 6,000 gold or so ahead, as it's coming back a little bit in favor of ASDF. As their Anti-Mage was just farming up an Ancient stack, not actually able to even finish it, so he had to go back to the fountain. But still, Boreal in the driver's seat so far. In terms of XP, it actually is ASDF favored. But XP isn't really everything. As certainly when you've already lost a set of melee racks, that's not ideal. YOLO Swag Rico has finished a Vlad, so now the Radiant side has a Vlad's. Vlad's are one of those items that's kind of weird on Anti-Mage. It's one of those items that actually helps if you want to go fight, but it's also a farm accelerator. It's actually really, really weird how it works like that. And I don't know. I think Manta might have been a little bit better, but either way, we got a 4-man smoke here from ASDF. God's Hand was leading the way with a Glimmer Cape on him. We'll have to check out who picked up one of those. As God's Hand's just going to run right past everyone, go straight AVH. Everyone else is focusing Derp. Everyone on the Dire side was focusing the Phoenix, but he just drops immediately into a Supernova, so he's going to be okay. KVH still on the run as he's trying to kite God's Hand, but they're able to get the kill. The tower finishes it off, drops God's Hand. YOLO Swag Rico will also go down to the tower. Tower MVP. Eleanor Ball Lightning's away, but he won't be able to escape. Or will he? Ball Lightning again, that uses all his mana. Will he tick out from the Jakiro? It doesn't look like it. As Jeppins and Venge will try to get the kill into XSY as he Glimmer Capes himself, as he was the one who had that. Santa NASA TP's away. And somehow, it's just a 2-for-2 exchange. As it looked like we were going to lose all the heroes on the side of ASDF there. But 3 of them pull a little bit of a Houdini act there. And get away on very, very low HP, some of them. Right now we're still at 24-21 in favor of ASDF. You have to say that Boreal's still very much in a commanding lead in this game so far. As this mid lane pushing so hard, and that's going to be a problem for ASDF all game long, having to deal with it unless they're able to basically return the favor and drop these mid melee racks. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to kind of fend off that mid lane and try and keep the aggression on. Of course, they've got to go through this tier 3, but before they can even bring that down, there's still a tier 2 up. In fact, all of the tier 2s are up on the side of Boreal eSports. They still even have a tier 1 up in the bottom lane. That's a lot of gold left on the map for ASDF. That's one way to look at it. But they do have a lot of structures to bring down. Of course, you're typically not going to be given those for free. Especially not at this point in the game. So you've got to put yourself in a position whether you've outmaneuvered your opponent significantly or you've picked off a few opponents so that you've got the numbers advantage and they're not going to see the value in fighting over an outer tier tower. But God's Hand looks like he's getting closer and closer to finish that Aghanim Scepter. That's going to allow them to get that kind of bird's eye vision and allow them to engage. Well, actually take better engagements, I guess is the better way of phrasing it. Eleanor will Ball Lightning after KVH, grabs them, pulls them back. We do have the silence come up from KVH, but it doesn't hit Eleanor, just hits YOLO Swag Rico. And the 2 of them are able to secure the kill there. Jeppins, oh no, he's out for blood as he's going to go after YOLO Swag Rico. One more attack there, Will. They'll get the kill, and Yes, you did get the kill on the Drill Ranger, but it cost you your anti-mage, so that is definitely not ideal. Ping's coming out. That's actually from Eleanor. I thought maybe they were still going to be looking. And then ping's also coming out on the Roche pit there as Dyer says, you know what, we've got to check. We've got to check Roche. We've got to make sure. He won't be up till about 26:30, but PQ, upon checking Roche as he walks on out, finds God's Hand, but he is so tanky. Jakiro's one of those heroes that is actually, it's very surprising how tanky that hero can get. His strength gain is actually incredible for a support hero. On top of that, when you build something like a mech on him, he just gets really, really beefy. He's got a pipe as well. He's got the armor from Tranquils. That puts him up at 16 armor on a support, sitting at 1300 XP. Compare that to a Vengeful Spirit, who, yeah, she's got a good amount of armor. Well, part of that is thanks to standing, there we go. So she's sitting at 14 armor right now. That's going to be the medallion, of course. When you use the medallion, you'll lose 7 of that armor. But still, that's 14 armor. That's a quite significant amount of armor. Not as much as you're getting on the Jakiro. But at the same time, like, look at the HP difference. 350 over 1,000 versus the Vengeful Spirit not even at 1,000 yet. It's like 400 HP difference. It's actually a little bit more than that. And we have... both teams... This is a tense moment. Roche is up. Both teams know it. Eleanor drops into the pit. Gets a pull off onto Derp. Maybe trying to pull him up on the high ground. Not able to do so. But there's an engage on the other side. God's Hand has lost a lot of HP. XSY's lost all of his HP as he's going to go down as our first kill on the Skywrath Mage. The Santa Nass is going to go down as well. Ice Path coming out from PQ. That'll trap Yoliswag Rico, allowing them to get the kill there as well. Eleanor is up on the high ground. Just dropping some remnants so that he has vision into the Roche pit. There's, no, he doesn't actually.
Radiant's top tower is under
there he is.
attack.
I was using the wrong vision. Yes, and there we go. He's going to drop into the Roche pit. And Roche does go the way of Boreal eSports, and they're even able to pick up the Aegis. And then they even kill Eleanor, so none of it going the way of ASDF as they lose 4 heroes when it's all said and done. God's Hand
Radiant's top
doing a little bit of
tower is
defending
under
action in the mid lane and taking some damage from Jeppins, but Jeppins not able to secure that kill. But now everyone on the side of Boreal will come from the Roche pit all the way down to the bottom lane where they're going to look to drop this tier 3 tower, which is sitting on 67 HP. As they'll wait for their creep wave, but take a look at where it is. All the way over here.
Radiant's bottom
that's a long way to wait, and you're going to have to be pretty patient to wait for that. And you can see on the mini-map, Boreal's not waiting around. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're just farming up the jungle first. Will they go back to the bottom lane? No. Tier 3 is gone now, though. And what is Boreal going to do here? Still have 3 heroes hanging out down here. 4 as the Venge, I don't know, maybe in a little bit of limbo here. State of limbo. As has picked up a Glimmer Cape. No TP. Surprising that he didn't pick up a TP when he was at the side shop there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Hopefully we don't have some Cloud9 gaming here. There's no TP on the Vengeful Spirit, no TP on the Leshrac either. Jeppins going all the way back to base, going to bottle on up. He's really far from his team, and I think as a result, everyone else is just going to back away. Because, yeah, they're all, once again, in the Radiant jungle. Just still farming up. They do have this Aegis. They're certainly not in any kind of rush, though. They do have quite a bit of time left on the Aegis. And that'll give us a little bit of time to quickly cycle through our heroes here. So we'll go through the Dire side. Those are going to be the ones with the most items. PQ's got the mech and the pipe. Derp's got the Vlads, but also a soul booster as well. Interesting to see if that's going to be a Bloodstone or an Octarine Core. KVH does have that Aegis. He's got a Scotty and an SNY. Jeppins, once I can click on him, he's got his Aghanim Scepter, a Yule Scepter, and a Dagon level 1. And then the Vengeful Spirit has the Medallion and a Glimmer Cape. And here we go. We're going to have an engage with an Icarus Dive, and Eleanor is going to jump all the way to the back, get the pull off onto the Vengeful Spirit. Sonic Wave comes out from the bottom left of the screen from Jeppins. That gets them the kill into XSY, but they're able to get the return kill there.
For the arrow fire.
Now Eleanor is going to go down as well. KVH went down, but he's going to respawn with that Aegis. So now we do have a one-man advantage for Boreal eSports. They're going to look to make it more as they're going to try to focus down God's hand as he tries to run away. He'll earn himself back up, and will he be able to get away? He's on low HP. He's going to tick out from that urn as we're going to see him go down, and now we're going to see the bottom racks go down, the melee racks at least. Now the range. We did have a buyback from a Santa at Nasa's. He'll look to re-engage here, but it's just him and YOLO Swag Rico left alive, and actually Eleanor will just respawn as well. But it's still 3 versus 4, and now it's going to be 3 versus 5 as Jeppins buys back on the Queen of Pain. He doesn't have boots of travel, so he just TPs to the tier 2. It's going to take him a little while to get down here. But it looks like they're going to be able to get a kill onto the Phoenix and almost onto the Storm Spirit. He's going to ball lightning on basically 0 HP all the way back to the fountain. YOLO Swag Rico's taking quite a beating as well. And he's going to go down to Jeppins, who just gets there with the Sonic Wave. GG is going to get called by ASDF as Boreal takes this series 2-0.
Dire victory.
As ASDF still haven't found a win yet in the Saturday Dota League. But they'll have another chance, or at least 2 chances, next week. As we've got our final week of the group stages coming up next Saturday. And so we'll have the schedule updated on the website at SaturdayDotaLeague.com shortly for you guys, so you guys will know exactly when each of those teams are playing. Not sure which of those games I'll be casting, but I will be casting next Saturday, so definitely hit me up with a follow on Twitter at NizCast, and I'll let you guys know right before I go live, or maybe a day or two before, letting you know what I'm going to be casting. We'll just have to play that one by ear. But yeah, definitely go check out SaturdayDotaLeague.com to find out all that information, so you know which ones that you want to watch. But of course you can watch all of them, and if you miss them you can always go back and watch with that in-game ticket, because it is free, so you can watch all the replays that you want. So definitely go and check that out. Besides that, follow me on Twitter at NizCast, like I already mentioned. Hit me up with a follow on Twitch as well. That's really important, so that you know when I actually go live on Twitch, or you can see when I'm live on Twitch. Besides that, all the games I cast I upload to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast. So if you want to see the VODs of me actually casting it and you don't want to watch in Dota TV or whatever, you can go find that stuff there. Saturday Dota League also has a YouTube channel as well. You can find all the links to that on their website. But that's going to wrap it up for this game. Once again, we've got Boreal eSports taking the series 2-0, as ASDF still, unfortunately, not able to find a win. Next week, we will have Boreal going up against the Business Gaming, and we're going to have No Brood Mama going up against ASDF for our final series of matches. As for me, for my next cast, of course, I will be casting next Saturday, but I will be casting some Dota 2 Canada Cup, and that next cast is going to be on Tuesday, May 12th, and that's going to be starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be a best of 1 for the losers bracket between eHug and Summer's Rift. And then the winner of that will play in the next match immediately following in another best of 1 up against the Wheel. And then the winner will then move on to the losers bracket finals to play up against Boreal, which we saw tonight in their full roster. But Boreal, they'll play against Boreal in the losers bracket finals to determine which one of those finishes 4th and which one of them, which one of them, to determine which one of them moves on to eventually the grand finals. But we'll see how that all pans out on Tuesday. Hopefully you'll hit the follow button on Twitch and check that out on Tuesday starting at 7:30. But if you do miss that, I will be casting some other stuff coming up. But I'll definitely be around next Saturday to cast more of the Saturday Dota League, and you definitely should come and check that out. But that's going to be it for me tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you check out all those channels I just told you about. And everyone, have a good night.